Welcome to Girls Like Us podcast. Welcome to Girls Like Us podcast. Welcome to Girls Like Us podcast.
Life always works out. Things always turn out in your favor, even if it doesn't go according to the original plan. Find comfort in knowing that you're all currently experiencing is a transition and transformation period that's leading you to your ultimate vision.
Hi guys, welcome to Girls Like Us.
This is Charlotte,
And this is Venus.
and I almost forgot.
I almost
My
forgot
name.
who
I
I was. Who are you? Yeah, so we're finally doing
Oh my
video,
gosh.
guys.
Yes, we are.
We're doing a trial and error
Mm-hmm.
to see how it goes.
Yes.
But how have you been? Tell me what you've been up to. How's life? Maybe I caught you at the wrong time.
Right. I'm just drinking so good. Jeez. I literally have been doing nothing. I worked over the weekend. That was it. I'm trying to think. I had took these things because sometimes I have a hard time sleeping.
Mhm.
So I took these extended releases ZQuils. And my best friend came over on Saturday. So
my friend.
right.
That's my friend too now.
So we watched the Black Mirror stuff, and then we had food. And so after that, I was like, I'm gonna take this ZQL and see if it works, because the regular ZQL does not work at all whatsoever for me. Like, I'll take it.
I'm
and
not a big sleep aid thing, and I took it once and
it doesn't work. Like, it'll push you to sleep, but it won't keep you asleep. So because I'll be like so feeling unrested, I look unrested, and I feel like I look unrested, and I am unrested. So I was like, let me try to extend the releases and see if that works. So I took it that night. Let's just say it did work, but I read the reviews and it was like it worked the first few times, but like after that,
because your body gets used to it.
It.
Have you ever tried melatonin? I think that's what it's called.
I tried everything, but it'll put me to sleep, but it doesn't keep me asleep. But this one, the first time, I used it that one time, and it did. Like, I woke up and I was like, oh wow, like this isn't. I woke up, but I did go back to sleep. Like, I probably went off and on to sleep up until like 12 or 1 o'clock.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Like, I was tired, but once I got it out of my system, sometimes stuff will like leave you groggy the entire day. But once it was out of my system, it was out of my
that's
system.
good. Because when I take the medicine, like the night medicine, like for 2 days, I'll be like dying. Like, I'm sleep.
Exactly. But once it was out of my system, and I didn't even take it until like I think like 11 that night, 11 to 12 o'clock that night.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Then it worked for it did work.
Yep.
How it's supposed to do.
It did.
That's good.
Yeah. So I was like, if I were to take it like on a work day, because it was like, I don't want to, I was like, am I going to be groggy? So I would literally have to take it if I was going to take it on work day. It's like as soon as I get home.
Oh yeah, that
For
makes
it to-
sense.
yeah.
That makes sense. I don't take any of that because I love sleep.
Yeah, I love it, but my sleep, it doesn't, like, I always wake up.
Well, my sleep has been so off lately because of my other job. So I'll find myself at 5 p.m. My body's already like, oh, you need to go to sleep, which I really don't. And then it'll be 11 p.m. and I'm wide awake because that's usually at the time I work.
That's
So
usually-
I'm
exactly.
on 100. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
go to sleep. But the other day I slept for 10 hours. I can't. Without waking up though, I did not wake up not once.
Really?
Yes, 10 hours straight, and I can't tell you when the last time I slept 10 hours straight
Wow.
without waking up. It wasn't how you wake up to go to the bathroom, how you wake up, nothing. My alarms went off, and because I forgot to unset my alarms, they went off, and
Wow.
I did not hear them. But it was I needed that sleep.
Right.
I needed that sleep, but.
Yeah, no, even when I was on vacation, my sleep was still off. I was up to 4 or 5 in the morning just watching shows, got a little crowd. And I was still back up by 9.
Wow.
Exactly.
No, I've been I think like my body was so like deprived of rest
Hmm.
that like these last couple of days has just been like, are you okay over there?
Oh my gosh, the nutmeg. I inhaled it, when you still, I inhaled it like, oh, I don't see how they did that challenge. They could have died. You remember that challenge that they were doing and they were eating up like the nutmeg? It was a goofy challenge that some stupid kids was doing. But that right there just, I
I
inhaled.
have no idea what you're talking
You know how they always doing stupid challenges and
Mhm.
stuff, and that was one of them because if you like the nutmeg in your mouth, you can't swallow it, and that was I think that was the challenge of it or something. Like it was stupid, some stupid kid stuff. I'm just like, wow. But this is
Yeah.
really good. I just want y'all to know that this is really good.
It's so good. Like
This?
my girl that does it, like no slacking. Like, oh, and she like, cause this is the second time I bought it from her. She gave me little. She does apple shots too. Like she has a whole little menu, and she gave me like a sample of apple shots. And let me tell you, it was only like two, but I had those two, and then I had like a cup and a half of this. I was lit.
This is good. I like this flavor better.
This was
This one,
strawberry coquito.
I
The
like
other
this
was
one.
regular, and then she has Nutella, but that one I haven't tried.
This is really good. I think the other one I like, but it tastes like a nutmeg. No, eggnog.
Because that's what it is. It's like
Mhm.
Puerto Rican eggnog, and I really want to try her pina colada. Like I really, really.
This right, this strawberry
So,
is
oh, let me shout her out.
Right.
Like if you're in Chicago, her stuff is Kay's Kitchen, but she like even like the flavor, the amount of alcohol she puts on it, like it's spot on. Like she doesn't chin stop, so it's worth it.
It is. It's
Yes. I be popping these bottles like
Man.
it's so good. Cause it goes on smooth too. It's not like how like sometimes when you have those mixed drinks, like
Yeah,
the alcohol hits you all of a sudden, and you're like,
Yes.
no,
Mm-mm.
this one like she knows what she's
I
doing.
don't know. When you asked like, are we still recording? My first thing was about the drinks. Yeah, like I mean, are you gonna drop the drinks off then?
Cause I'm gonna drink. I don't know about you.
Like I already got it ready. I'm set. Like, oh, I need to make sure I eat first. So I get the drink. Like, wait a minute. We already discussed this.
I
Like,
completely forgot that I had like sent you that. Like I kid you not. And then I was like, let me ask her. We're still on for recording. And then you're like, what about the drinks? And I was like, wow. But then like it also came into like I just assume people's time, and I'm trying to get better at it. No, it does come from that because we talked about it Saturday because I was sick. But like you don't know what happens from Saturday to Wednesday, and
that's you. Me, I'm pretty much the same. Like, unless the only time I'm like, okay,
but like see like I don't know like what if you
It's
got
Wednesday,
sick or
like,
something,
it's
like
a-
I don't know like, and it's
Right.
especially like during the week. It's not like when I see you every day, it's different because like I kind of like know, but I haven't seen you, so it was kind of like. Let me not assume on people's time after I told her, right?
okay,
Like,
after
it's
we
all
talk about
backwards,
these
but
drinks, like, what?
look,
Absolutely.
what is the person that I'm with always tells me what progress, not perfection. Okay. So don't at me.
Oh
It's
my
a little bit
God.
of progress. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get better with people's times. Cause I mean I'm really on it about my time, but like I don't care about people's time. Like it sounds so selfish and it sounds so bad, but like, and like I care about my friends' time, but like anybody else, I'm like,
Right.
it's horrible. I'm trying to get better.
I'm bad at time when it comes down to like overbooking myself.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
I'll
like,
be like,
you're good at like work time, like she'll live at work, but like when it comes to like doing something else, like especially like I'm gonna tell you, I left my house at 5 because I'm like, oh no, actually like 5:15. I'm like, she'll probably get there like a couple minutes before me. And then I was like, she usually tells me when she leaves. And then I was just like, but you know what? Like she already knew. But then I'm like, you know what? She's at work, and I already know how work goes. She gets out at 5. She won't leave till 6:30.
oh my God. And the craziest thing is because I stayed late on Saturday, I was like, oh, I'm staying late. Like I stayed till like 4. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to leave here 4 on Wednesday. I was like, because I already did this. And I'm just like, oh, when I tell you that when I got that power, I was like, it's not 4 o'clock is not gonna happen.
Yeah,
was
so
like-
and then like the notifications on my phone have been horrible. And it was fine when I checked and I was like, again, I didn't get it. And I was already on my way. So I was
Right.
just like, I'm just gonna like chill type of thing.
If he would have gave me the stuff like first thing that morning, I would have definitely been done because it's not a payroll. It's like I would have definitely been done. But because it was like 12 o'clock and it was like all these deals and then these payoffs and then everything else and checks and
I usually, like, right when he comes in, I'll go in and ask him just because he'll keep the titles again till, like, the end of the day.
yeah.
And it's like, some of these stuff I needed to go out and you're bringing it to
And
me.
yes, and I'm sure in that palette was sometimes like I gotta go through these. That's why I was like I probably gonna be there later than my normal time tomorrow
Yeah.
because there's titles. I'm like, is these one of the titles that she wants me to send out? Now
Oh,
I
I
gotta go
left,
through
like,
the email.
some clear
Yeah, she really did.
instructions, like-
She's so like I must say, she is very detail oriented. Me, I'm
Like,
I'm on
I
a-
sent this long-ass email, highlighted important parts to what needed to be done, who needed to be, like, taken care of. And I was like, and you need to send this to this person. But I didn't only send it to you. I sent it to, like, finance. I even sent it to the owners. Like, I'm like, here y'all go. Like,
Yeah, so now I gotta go through all the papers that I got to check it against the email, the detailed email to see like does this have to be sent out and all of this. And then I came into the thing because you always run the FedEx, so it's through the sticker. So then I had to correct the thing for it to print out so I could print out a regular way. I'm just like, oh my god, all of this is like literally down 4:30. I'm like, I'm not gonna get finished. Like I am not about to finish this, and I'm just like, oh
It was
my
so
God.
funny because Thursday when I left, I told my best friend, I was like, I think I'm the only person that writes this thorough ass email
Yeah.
to your bosses to let them know what's expected of them when you're gone.
You absolutely right. Because when I go on vacation, I'm not like the most I'm doing. I'm not gonna be in the office. Don't call me. That's it. Like literally, that is it when I'm doing.
I
like,
think
every-
it's just that I hate when people feel kind of lost as to what's going on. And I'm like, you ain't about to call me. Like, you ain't about to call me. You ain't about to nothing me. So, like, you're in the loop. Like, what you need to know, you know.
So in my position with me leaving, you will be perfect in my because you will be very thorough in what you leaving to do. Me, I'm just like figure it out. Figure it out. You know what? But left me out on a whim to figure it out. Like literally, she did. There was no like maybe a couple of days because she had already started working somewhere else. But she definitely was just like, and it was literally a figure it out. It was no like, it was a couple of notes, but it was like he'd be like, oh, do this, and I'd be like, oh shit, all right. Google, here you come. Like, let me figure this out. Or looking at the receipts that she previously did and stuff like that. But like you'll be perfect because me, I was just like, I don't know.
No,
And I don't
because,
even be trying to like have no intentions on helping. Like, you need what? Yeah, I don't know.
You
It's just,
figure
you figure it out. I had to figure it out. You're gonna figure it out.
I don't know, like, no, it's just like probably when I go on vacation, and I think it's just because I'm there, like, I feel like you come in like once a day, so like everything that's like going through the cracks falls on me. So I'm not trying to for you to hassle me when I try to leave. Like whenever I try to take vacations, because I'm the only one kind of there. I'm not trying to like guilt you through a fit because I'm not coming. Like no, when I leave, I make sure that everything that I need to do gets done, and it's so thorough. So it's only like the things that come in that we need to be taken care
Right.
of. Like where you're not worried about anything else, and I leave it so like
You definitely do. There is like nothing whatsoever. I just feel like
you won't have a question.
you can't like if you be like, oh, you couldn't figure that out, like then there's something wrong with you. Like there is something wrong with you. But yes, you are very thorough, detail orientated, and me like I'm trying to really get better organized. Like that's what I've been trying to do, like get better organized, like even with clearing out the pile and just making sure there's nothing on my desk that way, because my biggest thing is like I'm gonna let the pile get up here and then I'm like, oh shit, this was in the pile, like oh my god. So and it's just like I have to do better with that. So that's what I'm working on. And I was like, even with me coming in the hour and a half, whatever, every morning, it definitely helps me stay on track versus when I was just doing those 2 days, because other than that, like stuff is piling up and I'm just like, oh shit, like damn.
I think you just need to find your way of organizing, like what works for you, because like not everybody's organization will, like I'm not gonna lie, like it gives me a high, like it I kid
Oh
you
my
not.
God.
Like at the end of the day, when I was about to leave and I saw that beautiful email, like I was just like, yes, and like
It doesn't get me high at all. I'd be so upset. Like, why is this my life? I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, how did I get here? Like, what?
no, like it gives me a high of like even sometimes when customers call and like I'll know exactly who they are and what they need and I'll be like I literally like this. Like they'll be like, you didn't even look up my name. I was like, but I already know who you are.
Yeah,
Like
no.
it, I don't know. It gives me a high. You know, I'm the spreadsheet queen. Like
You are. And I just be like, nope.
everything that you will ever need will be in my spreadsheet.
It's not. I don't even know. Yeah, no. And I don't know. Some weird thing. It keeps saying, like, in my astrology, oh, you're detail oriented. I'm like, where?
You probably are. And let me tell you, you have to find your thing. Like you have to.
Some people seem to think, like, oh, yeah, you are. You be doing this. And I just be like, okay.
You just have to find your way of organizing.
Organize it. Like some
yeah.
things I can do. Like when it comes down to paying the bills, like my bills, I'm
But
good
see
at
what I'm
this.
saying? Like if you apply that maybe like in other parts, like you'll probably see it.
See it,
like
yeah.
because how I organize like everything at work, like that my bills are organized that way. Like you could ask me anything.
Yeah, she got a whole color coded calendar. I was like, who has this? Like what? She OCD when it come down to that. She's definitely OCD when it come down to that.
You know, my other job.
Like,
And I'm laughing because I said this the other day. We had finished early, and like the packages, like people just throw them, and my OCD does not let me. Like at the end of the night, if we like have time left over, I'll start putting them in numerical order
Same.
because it just like my OCD doesn't let me just like. And I'm like, no. Like,
I was about to do that with the deals. I'm like, oh, and then I stopped. I was like, yeah, no. I put it back down. Like, no, she's gonna do what she's gonna do with these. Like, but yeah,
that's so funny. Things I feel attacked.
it's okay.
I
It
feel
definitely
attacked.
gets you places. That's for damn sure.
I'm just like knowing where everything. You know what? I think this is also why I think I'm so organized. Because I'm lazy. So hear me out. Like
Oh, yeah.
I hate
Okay.
like the boss is coming in and asking me for something. And I hate having to get up and look for it through like piles or like have to go through like out of the computer type of thing. So if it's in a spreadsheet and you're asking me about it, all I gotta do is put Control F and I find it. And I'll tell you exactly what it was, when it was cut, like all of that.
I mean, it definitely makes sense. But yeah, it does. I don't. I like it. Yeah. I literally wish that I could. If I applied myself, I probably could. I think for me, I just need the setup. Like if you set it up for me, I can do the rest. Like if you like once you set it up, like oh this, and I think that was the biggest problem at my other job was that there was no structure. Like
it's like you have because over here there's no structure either. I set up my own structure.
But the thing is, it stays consistent. Like you know exactly, it's a consistent thing. It's not a like it changes every other week. Like nope, I don't like that. I need this. Nope, I don't want that. I need that. Like what? Like there is no structure whatsoever.
Maybe because my boss isn't like. Well, my boss is OCD, but like he kind of just lets me do like you have your system and you're gonna figure out and that's how you want to do it.
And then and you're able to give him the information that he wants when he asks for it. So it's just like
it might be because of that. Because like the only things that like he'll be like here do this like his personal stuff and then he'll be like you could throw it out and I know that I can throw it out because 2 weeks later he'll be like remember that blah blah, blah and I just pull it out. It's like we ain't gonna do that.
Yeah. So. Yeah, no, and I think that's the biggest thing. Like, if you set something up, like, say if there was structure already on how things will run, I can follow that structure easily and just implement it. But if nothing is implemented and it's just like, no, throw this away or shred this, and I'm like, but you need this stuff for 7 years, whatever, and it's just like, no, I don't want it, and it's just like.
But see, that's another thing. I don't ask permission. I just do it.
He throws stuff away. He's the type. You know how our bosses, they don't go through our personal items.
Yeah.
He will go through anybody's personal items. He'll go through your drawers like, well, what is this? Or what is it? Like, why are you in my things? Like, so.
Cancer trait.
I'm just like, but our boss, my boss, he's not about to just go rumbling through somebody's stuff.
I mean, I think he does, but he doesn't do it because I'm there. So like, I'll watch like your stuff, and he'll be like, he'll open the drawer and he'll look at me, he's like, I don't want to go through her stuff. I don't
But
wanna
he
go
will like text me like even before like over there he'll text me like I'm gonna go through your dress like where's such and such. But I don't think, who knows, maybe so, that he would
I
just
think
go
he
like it'll be like I remember when Misty was there and she had like snacks and like he went through her stuff like through it like why do you have snacks here and just throw all the stuff away. I don't think he would go to that extent of like to just throw someone's things away like this in your drawer like oh or maybe you should take it out or something because it might cause this. But like the things that he does, he's come from a different cloth.
No, I think maybe because he's not that comfortable with us, but you have never seen him sit at that finance desk. And I told you the other
Oh,
day.
he goes through his stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
he
that's
does.
what I'm saying. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because,
Right.
like, technically with your other boss, you're that close. Like,
We're
no,
not-
I mean, like, the close, like, you work with him that close.
Okay,
You know what
because
I'm
we're
saying?
not, and
No,
he'll be
not
like,
close
we're,
and, like,
we're not friends. I'm like, we not friends, and I say this all the we're not friends. I don't look at you as my friend whatsoever. Like, I look at you, you the boss who paid me, like, there is no friendship here. Like, that, like, and he says it a lot, like, I don't want our friendship to be destroyed. And I just, what fucking friendship? We ain't friends.
well, my boss
No
never
new
said I was his
friends.
friend.
I'm like, I'm not your friend. We ain't doing nothing outside of work. Friends do things outside of work. We're not doing it. I'm not calling you. I'm not asking you for advice. I'm not doing any of that. That's what friends do, right? Like, we're not
But you
friends.
can have friends, so I think that's the closest.
I'm just
thing
like,
to
we're
get
not
to
friends. Like, my loyalty is to the job, and that's where I went wrong. Like, that's where I absolutely went wrong because I'm just like, this is not like I don't know. Like, I'm here because I'm doing a job. That's it. That's all. Like, if I'm asking for something, I'm asking like if I haven't even asked for anything. Like I'm just like this is super. This is weird. It's weird. And when I just be like, wait, I'm not your friend anyway. Like. I'm
That's
just
funny.
I'm just so happy. Like it's when actually like when it's the last day, girl, I might just eat 5 edibles. I don't know, just to celebrate 5 edibles and a 5th of Hennessy. I don't even know. That's how happy I am. I don't even drink like that, but
you don't even drink.
I don't even know how big that is, but it sounded good.
Well, I mean, I would say I want to be a part of that party, but I know how Hennessy tastes, and I don't want to be part of that party.
Oh my god! Like that's how the relief is gonna the load off my like I don't even care about what it's gonna be. Like I'm so ready. Like I'm ready for the new chapter. Like I'm so ready for the new chapter.
I'm really excited for you because I think this is something that your soul needs. I think it's gonna give you space and time to do what you've been avoiding. Let me tell you guys, I have been telling Charlotte that she needs to sit by herself on her own and she doesn't listen to me.
Oh my god! I feel so attacked.
But no, like it's so hard because even like these couple of days that like I was completely like on my own, it's like hard to an extent, but it's also so fulfilling. Like I was talking to the person that I've been dealing with because they're not here, and I was like, I get restless in the sense of where like I want you here, but then I'm like, this is the last chance that I'm ever gonna have to be by myself. This is the last chance that I have to do everything I want. So why am I gonna wait for you to come home type of thing and
Right.
like give me the love that I want? Like I'm gonna give it to myself. So that means I'm gonna book 3 rooms. If I'm gonna go on a walk, like I'm gonna do it for me. Cause how can I expect you to do stuff that I like when I don't even know what I like?
Right.
So I think this, like for you even, it's gonna let you concentrate more on yourself because I do feel like this job was taking so much of yourself in the sense of your time. We don't have physical jobs; they're very mental, and like people don't understand like the toll it takes on you. Like just because you're not moving something 24 hours a day type of thing, like your mind gets tired, and that's sometimes more tired than a physical because you could go to sleep on the physical, but like your mind, like sometimes like I would like love my physical job more than I do like my other job, and it sounds horrible, but like I get to literally like my mind's working on my own stuff, and I go home, I sleep, I wake up, and then like now my brain's working like So I think it's gonna open so much.
I think so too. I really do, and I think I'll be able to like really focus.
Are you okay over there?
Oh my gosh.
Is it getting to you?
No, I was thinking like on my new project that I got assigned today, but I'll be able to focus on that.
Oh, I'm like, you gotta start a new project. You didn't tell me. Look at me, like over here on.
So I'll be able to really focus on that because I think sometimes just with thinking about everything else, like I'm not completely focused. So I think with this like load lifted off of me, I'll be able to really even just focus on myself and my mental health, as well as everything else. Because I feel like if your mental health isn't there, there's something that look like you about to say something. But if your mental health isn't there, it will stunt your growth in other areas. So I definitely feel like this is like a cleanse, and it's actually like the perfect time, end of the year, new beginnings, 2021. So it's like a blessing. It's a blessing.
Oh my god, I was just like, you should have seen my face. I was like, so originally we had like a topic outline, but like I like the way this conversation's going, so I think like it's better we just kind of keep talking about this, and we also talk about I don't think a lot of people talk about this, like the messy parts of healing, like the strain of your ego, like because I think people like are like, oh, you're this positive person and like it's rainbows and butterflies and like you sage and meditate and like you just never think negative, and that is not it. Like that is completely not it, because once you start silencing your ego comes like on 100, because it doesn't want to change. So it tries to pull everything out of everywhere.
Yes.
And there's a lot of loneliness with it. There's a lot of confusiveness. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of like
just
sadness.
rejection of
Yes.
it, because it's just like this is something you're accustomed to doing, and that's the hardest thing to let go. It's like you have to break a bad habit, and it can be overwhelming. Even now with me working on myself and doing the shadow work and just writing and journaling, it takes a lot out of me personally, because I am completely a surface person. You ask me a question, I'm right back at it with a surface ass answer. I'm not really digging into it, and I didn't really realize that until this year, like not long ago either. But I was just like, well, damn, like I don't dig deep. I can't even get it out. I don't dig deep. I give you a surface answer, like, how was your day? It was good. Like I'm not gonna give you anything else. Like unless like Venus knows how to ask the questions, like all kind of different ways to get the answer. But
I
like
was asking the same question 10 different ways to like get, and I'm like, okay, like now I know.
Yes, like she'll send me a question or something and ask me a question, and I'm literally just gonna be like yes or no, or like it's not gonna, like I'm not gonna take the time to really think about it or answer the question. It's this book that I have, and it's kind of like a shadow work book, and it asks a whole lot of questions, and it was difficult for me to like really answer the questions. Like you think like, oh, this is easy. Like what's your fear? And it's just like you think something like, oh, I'm just gonna throw out something like spiders, like, but it's just like it's deeper than that. And when you doing all this work trying to get yourself work, you gotta dig deep, and it's just like, oh my god, it brings up so many emotions that you haven't dealt with through your lineage. Like it's not just you. This is like passed on down the line. Like you didn't just get this. Like it was passed on from your parents and from their parents and then their parents. Like it's just a line, and if you don't heal it, and if you have kids, it keeps going. You just keep passing it down. And I don't think everybody realized that, because honestly, it's not something I ever really thought about. You know, me and Venus be having these deep ass conversations and stuff like on a regular. Like if you want to get deep, call up Venus, because she definitely gonna bring it out of you. And I
told my best friend, she would be like, it's 9 in the morning, and I was like, well, you already know, like if it's too early, don't talk to me. Like,
but I think everybody needs somebody like that. Somebody who's gonna not let you settle, who's gonna bring out your best qualities and not just let you just settle and just do those things.
You know, I I can't say that I've always been a good friend. I haven't always been a good friend, and I know sometimes like I could just kind of like I give like hard love, but I've also learned how to like give that hard love because sometimes I would just come hard just like I just didn't give a fuck, and it wasn't that I didn't give a fuck. It was just that like I didn't know like that's how I was raised. Like I was raised like I'm gonna tell you what the fuck it is, and that comes from the relationship with my mother and like healing that even like it's like even when the person with it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So like I'm learning how to say things and I'll tell you beforehand, like I'm about to give you tough love. Like and if you're uncomfortable with it,
I don't think you forewarned me. I'm about to Google because I'm sure I don't get forewarned. Like I'm about to give you tough love.
but
It
here's
just
the thing
don't end.
because no, with you it's so different though because like you're hardcore. You get what I'm saying? Like you don't
I'm
like
soft
mushy.
and mushy.
You are not soft and mushy, bro. Like you are not mushy. Like
That's not the tag.
even the other day, my best friend told me she's like, I really want to beat you up. She's like because of you. She's like, I learned emotions and now I cry. She's like, I like let myself cry. She's like, and I've never been okay with crying. She's like, and the other day I was crying and I was like, fucking Venus. Like, she's the reason why I'm so like
See?
sitting here crying. And I'm like, I guess. Like, so attacked.
Man, well, really, I think we feel attacked if anything.
What
Oh
do you
my God.
say has been like one of the hardest things for your healing that you've come across that you're like, fuck, like, how do I do this type of thing?
Oh my gosh, I think the hardest for me is just forgiveness. Forgiveness on a grand scale because I have so many um, resentments against people. And I know that it can't be resolved at this point, and just trying to let it go because I know that holds me back a lot. Forgiveness and trust are huge battles that I deal with.
Yeah.
Huge battles.
Like,
Like,
trust is huge.
oh my God, it's ridiculous. Like, it is so. I always feel like, and I know it's really bad. Like, I feel like there's an ulterior motive for people. Like, what are you doing this for? Like, are you really being genuine? Like, it's a constant thing that I battle with. Like, what are your intentions? Are you really genuine? Are you really doing this because you want to do it? Like, and I know it's a really bad thing to do, but I definitely between yes trust and anger, the like resentment and just letting go of the past. It's a huge battle.
That is huge. I think for me, my biggest has been like forgiving my mother. And like I'll think that I'm doing fine, and then like starting like today happens, and I'm just like, I was so angry. Like I was just like, literally, you hit me up yesterday to do this, and you've never called me on my birthday. And like I had to like check myself because like I'll think that I'm doing good, and then certain things happen, and I'm like, damn it. That and this year, I had never in my life struggle with like envy. I had never been envious of anything or anybody, and this year was the first. And that's what I'm telling you, like your ego comes at you with like 1,000 other things, and like it was I think like the first time that I had ever felt that, and I was struggling with it because I had never felt it, and I was like, where is this coming from? And I was angry about it, and I was just like, and I told the person that I'm dealing with, like I was just like, I'm feeling this, and I'm giving it to you because I don't know who else to give it to. I don't even know how to accept it. And when I tell you, like they sat me down and literally walked me through it, and I was just like, and then like, and it's perfect, like the way of just like it's perfectly fine for you to feel this way. Find out what's the root of it. And like literally all it took was maybe like an hour conversation, and I let it go. But I had been keeping it in for like 3 months at that point, and I was so angry about it because I had never felt it. Like I was just like, where is this coming from? Like I've never felt this. I've never been like a jealous person, and I was struggling with it. And then I realized that it wasn't that I was jealous; it was my ego, because I had like kind of like tore down everything else.
Mhm.
They're like, oh, so you think you're doing good? Like, nah. So I was just like, where is this coming from?
Right.
Like, you know, like I've never felt this. Like, what the fuck is going on? And it literally took like I was just like, I'm giving it to you because I don't know what to do with it. Like I don't know what to do with it, and I'm angry. Like I was like, I'm angry with you. Like, and it was an anger that like it was wrong, and I knew it. But I was like, I need to tell you that I'm so angry with you. I'm like, and I'm hurt. But I know it's not your fault, but I can't get rid of it. And it wasn't until I voiced it,
Right.
and it was like it was a hard conversation. Like I was crying. So I think like this year alone, dealing with new emotions that I had never dealt with, and I was like, what's going on here? Like, why do I feel this way? And it's like like a constant battle. Like I'll tell Charlotte something like I just want a day off. Like I'm like, I'm not gonna work with myself today, and then like I'll be like doing morning pages, and then here comes my soul, and they're like, oh, you think you're not gonna work on yourself today? And I'm like, oh my god, like I was trying to take a day off.
I know. I feel you. I feel like that. Even though I just came from vacation, like I do feel like I did feel like more productive coming back, but I still feel drained. And I was like, I looked in the mirror and I was like, I look drained. And I was like, I shouldn't be drained after coming from a beautiful vacation. Like, I should be rejuvenated at least for a couple of months or so. But I was just like, I still feel so mentally drained.
It's
Like,
you're
I just,
emotionally drained. And that's like what people don't talk about. Like when you start doing the work on you, it drains you. It soulfully drains you where like you could sleep all day, you could take vacations. You're drained because it's heavy on your soul. It's heavy on you trying to let go of everything you've been taught since the moment you were born. You have been conditioned a certain way. And now they're telling you like, oh, you gotta get rid of all of that.
exactly. Right. Before you can get to the next level, you gotta get this, you gotta get through this. Like, what?
Like you gotta literally strip yourself into like this position where I'm like, you know, and I'm grateful that like I have people like in my life that don't judge me or like I don't feel judged by them because I also came from a very abusive relationship where everything I did was wrong, where I was judged for everything. So the people in my life are so solid where I could be like, I've been feeling this way. Like, or you know what? Like, I can't do it today. Like, I can't do it today. Like, I love you, but I just don't have the energy to like be there. And like, you guys don't take it personal.
Yes.
And like that's the biggest thing.
That
You guys
is
don't take
huge.
it personal. That you're like, okay, take your day. Like I'll be here, because you know, and it's not like you need a big ass explanation or everything. I just can't do it today. Like give me today, and then when we're ready to talk about it, we'll talk about it. And it's never on that like personal.
That's a huge problem, and I know a lot of people probably deal with that because a lot of times when you're not in the mood to like be bothered with people, people take it personal. Like it's not about you. It's about me and me working on myself. And sometimes I don't want to mix your energy with my energy. I don't need the pep talks because I know what I have to work on. I know what I'm dealing with. I know what I'm working on. I know what it is that I have to deal with. And I'm not trying to include you in it or anything like that. But people take it personally, like, oh, you acting funny. It's like, no, it's not. I think everybody needs to take self-care time if they need to unplug their phones and not answer anybody. Like it's normal, but people act like it's so like, oh my gosh, like you acting funny or like, no, it's not. You need to take that same time too out for yourself, whether you know it or not. But it is a process.
Like even with my best friend, a couple times I've been like, you know what, I'm not in a good headspace, so like me giving you advice is not. I don't think it's not gonna come from a good place, but I'm not in a good headspace, so I might not be giving you the best advice that you need right now. Like I might look back and be like, what the fuck? Like I would never steer you wrong, like consciously, but I am not in the headspace to give you that advice to where I know that I did it at my best of my ability, that I walked you to like how you should be walked through. And like people don't understand that. Like it's like, oh, you don't want to help, or like, oh, you think you're all that, and it's like it's not
It's
that.
not that.
Or like, do you want shitty advice or do you want a real ass advice? I can give you shitty advice all day long, and then you go about your merry way, and
Exactly.
it is what it is.
That's so true. I think a lot of people are dealing with this right now. Even the post that we have posted about the like how was everybody doing?
Mhm.
Like, oh
Oh
my
my god.
god! Like it was so many comments of people
Mhm.
saying that they're not even doing well. Like and maybe it
Mhm.
was two people who said that they were
Mhm.
okay, but overall everybody was just like going through something.
Yes.
It's just I was like,
I did not
wow.
expect to get like that much traction on that post because I think we have posted like stuff like that before.
Yeah.
And like people like will like it and that's it. And
That's
like
it.
it was
Like
coming in
and
and
it's
left and
still
right.
coming. Like people
Yes.
coming into the house, it's like, oh
Uh-huh.
my god.
And
Like
I mean we're grateful for it and we're like I try to like answer back like as much as I can and like
yes.
you know I also don't try because it is a like a
It's like because you don't really know what to say
it's not
either.
even about not knowing what to say, but it's a public platform, so like I'm not gonna try to dig too deep into what you're going through because I don't know what you're going through, and it might not be for a social media platform. So I can like give you like positive encouragement. I could like give you it's over there.
My cup is
She already looking for the cup for the bottle. Like I could give you encouraging advice and words, but I'm also not gonna pry. I'm not gonna pry on your business, especially in a public space like that, because it's not like for everybody to know your business.
right.
If you reached out and felt like telling you like it's not going okay, like I'm sorry that I'm truly sorry that you're going through it
Mhm.
because you know I think we're this year mentally a lot of people are going through it because
Yes.
honestly this pandemic made a lot of people sit by themselves
Yes.
and I bet you they're like going like insane.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you literally, especially for like people who don't like have kids or have
Mhm.
family with them, like they're really having to like stick it out by themselves. Like I couldn't even imagine like because I've had I have my family and my friends like we still see each other, but still working. But just imagine somebody who's not working or who doesn't have anybody. Like I can't even imagine. And even though like my son is with me like our schedules like I'm working he's working and he's not always around and it's just like we talk when we see each other but sometimes well I'm going through like the empty nesters thing now like never thought I would but it's just like man I miss the company even if we're not having a conversation with each other but us just knowing that you're in the room or something
Mhm.
but it changes the whole dynamic like I felt like with COVID for me um, because my kids are already gone for the most part. But my siblings and I have grown closer.
Mhm.
Like it's affected people in so many different ways. Like we've grown closer. Like because you remember I would say like, oh my god, my sister's calling again. My older sister, she talks a lot, and I'd be like, oh my god, what does she want? But now like during COVID and everything, like we were like calling each other back and forth each day. Like how is it out there? Like what are y'all
Mhm.
at? Are y'all locked down? Or like we were just talking back and forth. She's a CNN person, so she tell me about the news and things like that. But I definitely felt like it has brought us all closer.
Yeah.
Like I went to see her a few times. She came to see me. Like we've all gotten together. Our communication is great. So it's just like, what about those people who have nobody, who just by themselves, literally
Mhm.
by themselves? Who are they reaching out to? Who are they leaning on? Who are they conversing with? Like that alone has to be just insane. Like I mean, it would drive you insane if you have nobody to talk to.
It would, and then like people that have had people pass from this,
Mhm.
and then I feel in a way that people have a lot more pressure working from home now because
Mhm.
I want to say that like when I've been going to work right, so I still have that like even if it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, you have that drive where like you kind of decompress. You're at home, so it's literally you move maybe from the kitchen table to like the sofa, and like it got blended.
Mhm.
It got blended, so there's no way out right now. Like there's no way out.
Right.
And I can't imagine that. And like in a way, I know at the beginning I was like, oh, I wish I could work from home and blah blah blah. But like now that we're
I
deeper
mean,
into
you
it,
technically could work from home just because you're so organized. I work from home. I'm getting fired at home. Like, um, I'm getting an email like, "Thank you for your time, but we no longer need you." Cause me, oh my god, I am a deadline person. like a paper due tomorrow, and I got it 3 weeks ago. Guess when I'm doing the paper right now, tonight, right now. Like, oh my god, I gotta finish this. Like, I don't know what it is. The adrenaline does something to me. So me working from home, I just
You know what's so funny? I like block schedule my day.
yeah.
Like I block schedule. Like I'll tell you. Like I can tell you exactly what days I work on what.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's because you OCD. It makes perfect sense. Absolutely, no. I'm supposed to be online at 9 o'clock. I'm getting up at 8:58. Like, right with my eyes. Like, hey, how y'all doing? Like, no, like it is not. Like I know. Like I'll be saying all the time. Like, oh, I wish I did have an option. But honestly, I know myself. Working for home is just it would not be for me. I need to actually go there because. Hell, going there sometimes ain't the greatest. So let know me.
But like now I imagine those people that are not only working from home but have kids.
Oh no. See,
Like
I would be getting the email. Soon as I open up, like, thanks, you can't even log on no more to the company website.
you're being like password reset, password reset.
Like, oh no, y'all gonna do this to me? Like, no, it's not.
You know,
I
my
have
boss
to have
wouldn't even let me work from home.
I have to have a set structure. That is it. Like the jobs I do, unless it's like something like for me or something, it has to be some type of structure. Like I have to mentally prepare myself. Like, oh, okay, like, oh, this is what I gotta do
today.
Mhm. And then sometimes I'll make myself a list of things that I need to do. Like, okay, this is what I gotta do because if I don't, it will give me. Oh, damn, I was supposed to do that. Like I need to like write it out. This is what needs to be done today.
Oh, but then you have all these papers in your purse.
Yes, I got papers everywhere. And it's just like, oh my god. My son asked me like, you have millions of purses. Why do you carry plastic bags?
Oh my god, she is the bag lady. She is a bag lady. Let me tell you, like she has purses and like good sized purses, and she has pretty purses too.
Oh
Like they're not
my
like
God.
ugly, but she'll have 3 plastic bags, like, and then like a little tiny bag, and then like another 2 bags.
He's
And
like,
I'm like,
that's so embarrassing.
mind you, like she don't even carry lunch, so it's not even like, oh, I have my lunch. Like I don't even know what she needs from those purses or what she
I don't
has
even know.
in. No, they're not purses. In those plastic bags.
It's just like, oh my gosh. I don't even know what it. I don't even know.
Does
It's
it have
so-
the clothes in your car?
Don't judge me. Look, not judge me. I cannot. Yes, I do.
You know, I had like the car a mess, and it was driving me insane.
They're organized totes though. Like when I just
Okay,
switched
so
cars,
what do you need totes for? Do you live in your car?
somebody put them. I don't even know why they put them totes in my car.
Where did the totes come from?
I don't even. When we moved,
When we moved from where?
them totes been there since we moved.
We moved like 2 years ago at this point. Exactly 2 years ago because I just posted a picture
Wow,
talking
I
about our
can't-
last day together. So we moved exactly 2 years ago.
I-
So those totes don't even belong to you. They're like the company's because there's probably paperwork in there.
It definitely
There's
is.
probably company paperwork in there.
It definitely is. I know that for a fact. It definitely is. Yes. I know. Don't judge me. I've been so attacked. I've been attacked all day long.
I don't know who's been attacking you.
You!
I just seen you.
All day. Oh, the post.
What post? Oh!
Yeah, attacked all day.
That wasn't an attack, those were facts. But, I don't even agree with their post because I think cancers, I should, like, get some type of money back. Not
Oh my
Gemini's.
God. Right, because this is not it. I feel so attacked. Oh my goodness. This gonna make me feel better.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You gotta make me feel better.
Here's the other little thing.
Thank you.
But, I've been doing, like, this shadow work and this work, and I think, like, my biggest thing, yeah, thank you. Oh, that was in my ear.
I'm sorry. It was mine. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Can you put the little sprinkles like you did the last time? You did such a great job. I know, right?
She's just lazy, guys. I
I told you what happened. We went to. We're gonna cook something. So we gonna. Can we just?
I don't even know why you try to volunteer.
Because I was like, oh yeah. As soon as the message went out as well, what are we gonna cook? I was like, we should get it like somebody to cook it for us.
So let me tell you guys, I'm really into astrology, and I think I just made everybody into astrology. And I'm really into like reading my chart and everything. And like I actually do. It was this post that I seen that said people who are really into astrology are the most loving people because when they were younger, no, hold on, it says when they were younger, they were misunderstood. So when they go above and beyond to try to understand someone, is because that's the way that they wish someone else would have tried to understand them. And like I think back, like it goes back to like the relationship with my mom. Like she never tried to understand me, and like that's why where I'm like I do think about it. Like I'm like I try to understand where people come from, like as to like why do they do the things that they do, like or their trauma or whatever the case is, because we deal with a lot of trauma that we don't talk about, or we don't even know that it's trauma, or that we've been told it's wrong. Like for me, my it's so funny, like the difference between someone that loves you, that truly loves you, between someone that thinks they love you or says that they love you. Like for the longest time, my mom and the person I was with that was really abusive would be like, "You're so dramatic, like this and that, like it ain't even that serious, right?" So that's always been instilled in me that I'm so dramatic and I'm so over the top, over the top. So with the person I'm dealing with, I had said something like, "I know, I'm sorry, I'm so dramatic," and they were like, "No, hold on, you're not dramatic. This is how you feel, and your feelings are valid. Why do you feel this way? Don't ever say that you're dramatic because you're feeling." And I was like, "What? Like, what do you say? Like, I'm not crazy?" And I guess when someone comes and tries to help you, you're like, "What is this?" And it might come to where you said that you're like, "What's your motive? Why are you trying to help me?" Because it was like, "What's your motive? Why are you trying to help me? Why are you trying to help me heal? Why are you trying to love me when I can't even love myself? Like, what is your motive? Like, what are you trying to get out of it?" And I guess once I got out of that like state of mind, I was like, "You truly do love me for who I am. Like, the messiness that I am, like I'm a runner, like, and they'll be like, you run and now chase, and it's not healthy, but I can't say it's so sweet. Yeah.
See, I cannot.
But it comes a lot from that, from like that unhealed trauma. And you know, before I came over here tonight, I was thinking about that whole incident with my mom, and I started looking back at my relationship with women, and I'm like, all these years I've tried so hard to find my mother. And remember how I was telling you that usually like all my friends have been older, like all my friends that were girls have been older. And I went back and I was just like, and these women like love me, like they like literally love me, and they're like, "You're so good." And I was like, I've tried to find my mother's love since I can remember, because I guess I needed that approval, and I don't anymore. Where I just like I really don't care. I'm not gonna say that it doesn't hurt. Like today, I was just like, "Are you serious?" type of thing. But I kind of had to let it go and keep it moving, because I also realized that I have to forgive my mother without her ever apologizing. She's never gonna say she's sorry. She's never gonna admit to things that she's done. She's never gonna. It's never gonna be her fault.
Right.
Which was also, like I said, you learn to love from your parents, because of abusive relationship that I was in. It was my mother. It was my mother. It was my fault why they hit me. It was you're dramatic. You shouldn't have done that. And I was thinking about that, because I was like, my father and the person that I'm with, their persona has never changed regardless of what I've done. Like who they are, their essence has never changed. As to these other people's like, "Well, you did this, this, and that, so it made me act this way." And I was like, that shouldn't have mattered.
Mhm.
Like, you should never change who you are. So either you're not true to your, and see that goes into the, like, it's about you, it's not about me.
Right.
Because then you're not true to yourself, or I'm triggering something in you
Right.
that you need to heal.
Mhm.
And that's okay, and I have to forgive you, because you're never going to see it how I do. You're never going to feel what I felt. You're always going to excuse it. And I think, like, because my mother is still alive, and I'm never, like, her being alive, and, like, I know I'm never going to get it, sometimes it's harder,
Mhm.
because it's just like, you're still here, you can still say I'm sorry. Like, even, like, I think I told you this before, where, like, she was, like, under something, like, you're everything to me, I love you. And I question it, like, I'm like, why are you telling me you love me? And it's bad. Like, it's bad. Let my dad tell me that he loves me, and I don't hesitate. Like, I know this man loves me
Right.
unconditionally. And my mom's love was always conditioned. Like, it was always like, what are you going to do for me to love you? Like, what are you going to do? What are you doing right for you to deserve my love? As for my dad, it didn't matter. He was going to love me no matter what. And I don't think we ever really talk about how toxic mothers are.
Mhm.
We talk about how toxic men are. We talk about toxic masculinity. We talk about how men are in and out of the picture or leave their children. And I'm not saying that it's the women's fault why they're toxic, because they do have these men that leave, and now they're there to be providers, to be mothers, to nurture, to, all this. But, like, they don't ever admit that they're wrong.
Mm-mm. They don't. They definitely don't.
And it's like, mothers hurt their children so much. I mean, think about it. How mothers hurt their boys, and they hurt their girls in different ways. Where their boys don't know how to do shit, and their women are so like, well, my mom did it this way, and that's how she raised this type of thing, and it's not the correct way. Like, I remember I was 8 years old raising another child.
Mhm. Yeah, it is true. It is. It's like a curse that you have to break. Like,
Hmm.
and I think that's the only way that you can move forward is just owning up to it and not trying to have an excuse behind why you did those things, instead of just saying, I'm sorry. I know I fucked
Hmm.
up and I'm sorry. I'm at a stage where I'm trying to make it better type of thing, but a lot of times they don't. Like, it's just like, oh, this is what it is type of
Hmm.
thing, and that's just not the way to go. Like, you have to make your peace, or the cycle continues.
Yep. I also have to say that what doesn't help is, I want to say, the economic barriers that have been thrown at us. That doesn't help either, because if you think about it, most people of color that do have a two-person, a two-adult household, all the adults have to work. And if there's only one adult, that adult has to work like 3, 4 jobs just to maintain and be able to provide food. And yeah, that's a necessity, but time is also a necessity. Love is also a necessity. Like, learning about your child is a necessity.
It is.
As to where other neighborhoods, they're more allowed where the mother stays at home and is able to, like, maybe, or one of the parents, not always a mother.
I think that when you say that, that opens up another thing where a lot of times people feel where, or parents feel like, well, I'm working to make sure that you have everything, but financially isn't everything, because you still have to give them that time, that love. Like, that is something that my mom always would say, like, you taking them out places, that's nothing. Like, it's the quality time that matters. It's the doing the things outside of, like, financial things, like, that matters. Because I know for me, it's just like, oh, okay, let's just go, go, go. Let's go here, let's go there. But that's not everything. Like, that's like just watching a movie together may be more memorable than going to, let's just say, Chuck E. Cheese as a kid or
Yeah.
something like that. Like, because they'll look back like, man, I remember, like, just that day where we just watched movies all day. Like, that may mean more to them than doing something else that was major. Like, I think that's where people get lost at. It's not about financial.
Yeah.
Like, you may be struggling and everything, but if you're giving them that time, they might not realize it then at that age as a kid, but as they grow up, they be like, well, damn, my mom was cool or my dad was this. Like, he actually did things to me that really mattered and stuck with me. And now I want to do that for my kids.
Yeah.
But if all the time they just want to throw money at you, like, or thinking that if you always getting them the best things or the best designer clothes or something like that, like they're a great parent. But in actuality, it's not. It's more than that. It's deeper than that.
Like when I tell you I don't know how my dad did it. Like my dad was going to school working like 2 jobs, and when I tell you he was a present father, like my dad was such a present father. Like I told you, like all the teachers knew him by first name, and like it was always like, sit down, we're gonna have dinner, and like we're gonna talk about your day and how are you feeling, like are you stressed about that. Like my dad was such a present father that like he'll be like, come, we're gonna have family time. And I used to hate, I'm not gonna lie, I used to hate. I was a teenager. Like I was like, for what? Like I want to be in my room, I want to be on the phone. But now looking back at it, I'm like,
You can appreciate
yes,
it.
like I appreciate that so much. I appreciate that I have these memories with you, that we did this together, that you taught me how to do this, that at every single like honor roll, like whatever, you were there. Like I could always count on you. And like I said, they teach you how to love, like from when you're a child. And this is how I should be loved, and this is like, and now like when you have one good parent and one toxic parent, you're like just kind of like, well, which one is it? But they say that you always try to, when you're an adult, you always try to redo the relationship you had with the toxic parent, because you feel like you have something to prove, or you want that approval. And I've seen it. Like I seen it with my last relationship, where I was like, and I used to do this process through my head, where I was like, well, my mom was like this, but then this happened, and like she was fine. So I was like, if I could just get through this, like this is gonna be fine. So I was like constantly seeking that like validation, that like it wasn't me, that like I was good enough, till like I was just like, I don't know what happened. Like I think I prayed enough. I prayed enough. The universe heard me. I don't know what it was. And one day I was just like, nope, we're done. Like we are done. Like I'm done. I'm done with this. And I think pulling myself out of that like started so much healing, like within myself, within my other relationships. But I can tell you it was pretty. I can tell you it was pretty. I fell into like, I was drinking a lot. Like I was drinking a lot.
I think we both were. Oh my god.
I was drinking a lot. Like that winter, I remember I was drinking a lot. I didn't know how to be myself. I like didn't want to be myself. Like I always had to be around people, around someone else. Like those first holidays too. Like I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I look at it now, and I'm just like, I rarely drink now. I really rarely drink. I mean, I'm drinking right now, but
no, I'm looking at all this. You know what? I do have a lot of alcohol, but they're all full bottles. But I can say I think we both did, and maybe not at the same time, but at one point it was at the same time that we were drinking literally every day, every single day. And it was bad. And as I look back at it, I'm like, wow, like that was very toxic. Middle of the day drinking. So yeah, it's definitely, it's a lot. I think for me, I have toxicity from both parents to try to like muddle through, to let go of. I don't know where to start. Like I'm just in here, like I'm in the trenches. Like I just don't even know. Like oh my god, like is there so much to deal with by yourself? Like I literally know I should talk to a counselor just to figure out like the path or some direction on healing, but it's definitely a lot of healing that I have to do. And I think that I can't have a healthy relationship honestly until I deal with it because
Yeah.
it's just not good.
You know, I do feel that way. That we need to heal ourselves, but don't quote me on that. Like I've always said, you need to heal yourself in order to like be able to have a healthy relationship. I do believe that, but I also like, and maybe it's just purely my experience that the right person will also sit there and help you heal. It's not their job. I'm not telling you that it's their job.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
not
But
telling you that they should.
right.
But the
But
right
if they, yes.
yes, like the right person will also sit there. Like I was reading this quote the other day, and it said like, "You're not damaged goods. You're not this. You're not that." And let me tell you, one of the very first conversations that I had with this person, I was like, "There's no fixing me. I'm damaged goods." Like it was like this long, and it was just like this long like letter telling them why they shouldn't love me. Like I was like, "You shouldn't love me because I'm dramatic. I don't know what I want. I can't even love myself. I'm damaged goods. I've been through like all this hurt. Blah blah blah." Mind you, like this person has 100 times been through worse than I have on their best day. And I remember this person is like, no, they're like, fine. You want to work on yourself? Work on yourself, girl. But let me love you. Let me teach you how to love yourself while loving you. And I don't think I caught it at the moment, but like now that I look back at it, I was like, you didn't have to do none of this shit.
Right.
You could have been like, bitch, you crazy deuces. Like, let me know when you're better, type of thing. So I've been so grateful because I guess I was just able to be vulnerable. And we're under this impression too that it's like you have to love yourself for somebody to love you. Like, yes, that's true. Like, you have to have some essence of how to love yourself. But also the right person, if they are the right person, they're gonna help you love yourself.
They are. It's from a movie, but what she said kind of resonated with me. You seen Poison Slam?
Yes.
Yeah. And she was saying that she wants somebody to pretty much just love her as she is, not try to change her. Like she knows she's broken, she knows she has issues, and not just accepting her for who she is. And I feel like that. I feel like so many people come in thinking that they can change you into who they want you to be, type of thing, and not accepting you where you are in your life and who you are, and accepting it and truly embracing it versus trying to, oh, I can change this person. It's not your job to change me. Like, I'm telling you, I got issues. Now, if you're interested, then come on board. But don't think you about to come in and be like, oh, I'm the disabled person. I can change you. I can do all of this. Because, no, it's bigger than that. So,
one of the things that I do have to say, though, that before that, like, I'm not saying that you can't have people, like, someone can come and help you. We have to know how to be a friend.
that is so important.
And I am going to tell you because I was telling this to my best friend. Like, I didn't know how to be a friend. Like, I knew, but I wasn't, like, I wasn't completely sure. And I told my best friend, I was like, the moment you walked into my life, like, it was kind of like it clicked. Like, I remembered who I was because, like, a lot of the stuff that she would do or say, like, I was like, that used to be me. Like, what happened? And, like, she just loved me. Like, she didn't care. She just loved me. I remember one time, I was crying because the person I with told me that they loved me. That's right. And that's what it was. Like, I was trying to explain, like, what my last relationship was about, and, like, a lot of hurt that I had never told anyone, like, a lot of things that happened. And I remember this day, my best friend literally sat in the back of my garage. It was winter, right? We sat in her truck in the alley till 4 in the morning, and I just cried it all out, and I told her everything. And I was like, the love that I felt from her, like, that day, and I told her, like, ever since you walked into my life, like, I learned how to, like, accept love because, like, she forced it on me. I mean, I love her for it. But she was like, because I had never had a friend that, like, would just do stuff because that was who they were. Yeah,
Right.
like because that's who she was. So like she would bring me lunch, or she'd be like, "What do you need? I'm gonna drop this off," type of thing. So I learned how to like be loved, and I learned how to be a friend. And I think that also had a lot to do as to like once I got with this person, like because I knew how to be a friend, I knew what a good friend was, and that's how originally this started. Like we were just friends. So, but I knew like I had like a thing of how to be a friend and how a good friend should be to me. And I think had I not had that, I don't think that like it would have gone bad. So I would say that before anything, you need to know how to be a friend.
Oh
or,
my
like,
God, that is.
Uh-huh.
I would have to agree,
Yes.
100%. I had a friend who told me that, who actually told me that. There's like, I'm your friend, but you're not my friend. And I didn't get it at the point at that time, but I realized like, damn, you're right. You always checking for me. You always making sure I'm good, but I'm not doing it back. And I know I'm bad with that, but I'm working on that. But and I realized that in some friendships that I had, that I was their friend, but they wasn't my friend. It's like I'm checking for you, making sure you're good, and but you're not doing the same. It's not being reciprocated. So that resonated with me. That was maybe I don't know, some years ago though, but it always stuck with me and resonated with me because I'm like, damn, I don't want to be that person. Like if you're a friend to me, I want to be a friend back. Like my best friend, he stayed consistent for years. Like we've been friends for I don't even know 20 plus years. I don't know how old is my kids, but we've been friends and he has not switched it up. Like he's married and everything and nothing. You know, a lot of times you get married, you fall off, you don't communicate no more. My wife don't like you, my guy don't like you, whatever the case may be. But our friendship has never been interrupted. And good friends and true friends like that are hard to find. Like a needle in a goddamn haystack. They don't come a dime a dozen. Genuine friends who ain't talking about you behind your back and all of that. But that's so important. Like people need to learn how to be friends back. Like, cause you can have friends all day long, but are you their friend? Are you making sure they good? Are you calling, checking in on them and their mental health and everything for the most part?
Because think about it, even the essence of a relationship is a friendship. Like
It
you
is.
have to know how to be friends, and I didn't know how to be a friend. I mean, I did, but I also always gave more than I was given. And like it wasn't to my best friend. Like I was like, why are you doing that? Like why are you bringing me coffee? Like why are you asking me if I ate? Like it was so weird to me. But also because of that love, like I've been able to be like, you're not a good friend, and I'm gonna call you out on it, and that's okay because that's the person that you are. But I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here, and you know what? You see that I told you like I have to cut this person off. Why? Because I'm not gonna sit here and be more of a friend than you are. I get it, life is messy. I get it. You can't always check up on me, but I mean, you know the patterns. Like, you know the patterns. And it's like every single time I bring something up, you just, like, shut down. But when it's about you, like, you're calling my phone.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I was like, no. And that is one thing that I have to say. Like, you have to know how to be a good friend, but you also have to know how to receive that friendship in return.
Exactly. That's so true. I know our friend, he was a great friend. Oh
Yes.
my God.
Yes, he tricked me into that friendship.
You got it. Well, he's definitely a great friend. Like, he definitely checks for us all the time. Even like when we had the break in between and stuff, like he would send us food and stuff still. Like he drove out there, we had lunch together, like we was on a mission. But I mean, like, but good friends like that are hard to find because it's just like, or they have ulterior motives. So it's just like,
yes, like that is one thing that I do have to say, that it's not true where it's like you have to know exactly how to love yourself to find someone. And also it's not true that it's like you can heal yourself while being with someone else. I mean, I'm not saying it's their job.
right. It's good though. I mean, you don't have to, but it is good to
Yes, but
so.
it also, you have to know how to reciprocate that, and it goes into like you need to know how to be a friend, because it, like, you know, we'll joke around and I'll sit the person I went down and I'm like, no, we need to talk about this, and like this comes, and I called it out, like this comes from like your childhood trauma, because you had to be this person while growing up and you don't know how to be anything else, and they'll laugh and they'll be like, look at you, like schooling me now. And
Right.
it's like, because you're not only gonna build me,
Mhm.
I'm gonna build you. Because if I'm not building my partner, where are we gonna go?
Mhm.
Like, where are we gonna go? Because at the end of the day, your relationship is a reflection of you. And if it sucks, you're gonna suck.
Mhm.
I mean, let's face it. So I'm like, either we're building or we don't need to be here. Like, it's not just about me. I thank you. I'm grateful that, like, for the past, like, 3 years, it has been all about me. Thank you. But I'm at a good place right now, and we're going to focus on you right now.
Mhm.
And like they say, it's not always 50-50. Like, it's 80-20. It's like, this is, like right now we're working on setting boundaries.
Don't look so enthused about
Because
it.
we're working on boundaries, and I don't think I've ever been with someone so deep to where now we're at this boundary stage. And
What you really want to say is that this person is taking a lead and she ain't liking it. She is a control freak. So the fact that somebody is in here trying to take control, oh my God, it's not going well with her at all. I just want to say that.
I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. No, they sat me on my ass and told me, okay,
She the type
when you
that-
did it your way, but now I don't know.
Right. You know how they say like with the guy and the girl, like the guy thinks he's in control, but really she's in control the whole time. That is her. Like, she in control the whole time. She be like, oh, okay, you think you running this, but I still got this. So her.
You know, it's so funny. This is so funny because they were like, you're a runner, and you run, I'll chase, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, so I was going back on my journals, because like that's one thing we do, we journal a lot. And then and then I realized that you had all of 2020 to lead this relationship, and I'm like, oh. And they're like, you know what? It's cool. You led. We stumbled, and they're like, and when you fall, it's not just you falling. We fall because we are together. Like, we are a team. But now we're gonna do it my way, and I was like, this is me, but this is me, because like you just said, I'm a control freak, and I was like, yeah, but remember that 2019 we did it your way, and that didn't work. And then 2020 we did it my way. I was like, so I think now it's time to put whatever worked
Together. Oh my God, I cannot see what I'm saying.
Because who do you think you are to tell me
Oh my
what we're going to do?
God.
Toxic.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yes.
Mhm.
But we've gone like so overboard
Oh
on this tangent.
my
But
God.
do you want to let them know where to find us?
Absolutely. So guys, don't forget to rate us on iTunes, share us, and subscribe. We are available wherever your podcasts are available. Check us out IG at _girls.like.us. Also, you can email us if you have any questions, concerns, opinions, ideas. We'd love to hear it. Email us at girlslikeus619@gmail.com. Like, follow, share us on Facebook at Girls Like Us 619. And unfortunately, our phone number has changed, and we will update you on that information shortly.
I think I remember, because I was trying to look for the number and I don't have it on hand.
That's not even word. Also, donations are accepted via Cash App at $ Girls Like Us Podcast. Whether it be $1, $5, $10, everything is greatly appreciated. It is going for a great cause. We do want to give back to the people in need. So we appreciate everything that you have to offer and give us.
Yes, guys. And don't forget the National Sexual Assault Hotline. That number is 800-656-HOPE, 800-656-4673. Thanks for listening to Girls Like Us.